When I saw the teaser trailer way back when of a pregnant lady going crazy with a machine gun, I knew this movie was going to be good. Paul Thomas Anderson has now established himself as one of those directors that not only is a good director, but is incapable of making a bad movie. My mind is just swirling in a million different directions right now. Like, I don't know where to begin with this review. How does someone take a story that is kind of just normal by drama standards and make it more exciting than Mad Max Fury Road? I honestly did not know what to expect going into this movie. I mean, I kind of knew what to expect. Like, I knew Paul Thomas Anderson, There Will Be Blood is one of my most favorite movies of all time, and I have seen, his other works like Boogie Nights and what have you, and I know his style. His style is kind of like reading great American novels. Like, you're going to watch it and then you're going to think about it for the next 20 years or so. You're going to, or by you, I mean me, you're going to be looking up all the interviews, you're going to be reading all the articles, you're going to be watching all the YouTube theories and like character explained and such and such. You're going to be doing all of that because his movies are so rewatchable, so incredibly dense, and they're also by nature very sad and depressing. And so when I walked into one battle after the other, I was thinking that I was going to get the same thing. When I saw the trailer, I didn't really know what to make of it, but I was like, well, it's PTA, it's Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm going to go see it. But about like 95% of the way through the movie, and I say 95% because for the other 94%, I was so completely enraptured in what I was seeing, I couldn't even think straight. By the 95% point in the movie, I was like, this is actually like a completely self-contained action drama film. Like, it has a clean, wrapped up ending, and I don't say that in a cliche way. Like, that's not a bad thing. It was a joy. It was a revelation to be sitting there and thinking like, not only does this movie carry everything that PTA is known for, layers upon layers upon layers of character and layers upon layers of story and implication and symbolism, blah blah blah, but you could actually just watch it to have fun. Like, you could just watch this movie to enjoy yourself. The editing was so frenetic, like in the best possible way. The entire movie felt like one long scene. The entire movie, it was 2.5 hours, and I've heard a lot of reviewers say this, that it's 2.5 hours, but it feels like an hour and a half. Could not be more true, because it just felt like one long scene. Like, it seemed to flow so naturally, and even when there were like cuts in time, it made total and perfect sense. And I was sitting there from like the moment the credits opened to the moment the credits ended, I was just like, I have completely forgotten who I am. I've completely forgotten about the world. I was just so totally in the story with the rest of these characters. I felt like I was following good old Leonardo DiCaprio right behind him. I felt like I was right in his footsteps as he goes out to rescue his daughter. That's the basic premise of this film. And yes, probably like you, I thought about Taken, but it is far better than Taken, even though Taken is a really fun and solid movie. DiCaprio, of course, shines, and of course, pretty much everyone else in the movie outshines him. I will die on this hill, and I will stay on this hill until I die. Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, this newcomer who has an amazing name, Chase Infinity. I mean, it almost sounds like a DJ who's based in like Los Angeles, but Chase Infinity, and I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of like the lead female character, but she does an amazing job. Everyone does an amazing job in this. And for my teacher friends out there, there was a part of the movie where I had to suppress my laughter because it was so painfully realistic to teachers. There's a scene where DiCaprio was actually having a parent-teacher conference with his daughter's teacher, and the way that the teacher speaks to him, trying to hide her disdain for him and trying to stay professional, is so hilariously spot on to the average parent-teacher conference that I was definitely the one who was laughing the loudest in the theater. And that kind of thing makes me like really embarrassed. So I was like trying to suppress myself, but it was just so incredibly funny in its specificity. And probably the reason why I was laughing the hardest was because there might not have been other teachers in the in the movie theater, but it was just so incredibly realistic. I would not be surprised at all if the actor was an actual teacher, because the way that she speaks to him, this kind of like professional corporate speak that's really hidden behind these bars of like complete disgust and like really wanting to say something but trying to hold your professional front. It was so hilarious. It was so incredibly spot on. So if you're a teacher, I recommend you go see this movie just so you can feel that vicarious relation to that particular character. The music was unbelievable. It was a character in and of itself. And this is such a wonderful hallmark of PTA movies, is that the music is so pervasive. Like it's across it's there from the beginning to the end, but somehow it knows exactly when to stop. It knows exactly when to turn off and to let you focus. Actually, there were a few moments in this movie where the music kind of turned off in the way that it does in Quentin Tarantino movies. Like it's just going and going and going, and then boom, like it just cuts off. Like in Django Unchained, they're playing that song by Jim Croce. Like a traveler running down the road. I've got a name. I've got a name. And then just boom, it cuts off. And it does that a lot in Django Unchained, but it had a few moments of that in this movie, one battle after the other. But it was also kind of like There Will Be Blood or Phantom Thread, where it's just like this continuous long line stretch of a common motif, a common phrase that just never really shuts off and adds so much to the scene. It adds so much character. In fact, there was one point where I was sitting there in the theater and I was thinking, if the music was off, this would have a completely different feel. And I know that's not exactly like a brain blast. I mean, it's that way for any movie. But I mean, like, the music gives it this compulsion. It gives it this compelling nature of like, let's keep going, let's keep going, let's keep going. The characters, we gotta go, we gotta go. Like, it had such this wonderful franticness to it that kept you on the edge of your seat. But at the same time, I was like, if the music was off, it would almost feel like a serious drama. Like it would turn into a Coen Brothers movie almost. But it was just amazing. The music was so chaotic and it was so discombobulated, but at the same time it made perfect sense. Like whoever wrote this music, you are a genius. I don't know how you did it, but they managed to find this perfect line of the music not really making sense and yet totally making sense, I guess, which kind of went along with the storyline of the movie. I don't think I've ever seen a PTA movie where it is not only a huge amount of fun, but it also is that classic PTA story where it just has so many things to think about. It's just the best of both worlds. Anyone who likes movies and just wants to go in for I can't believe I'm saying this. Anyone who just wants to go in for like a casual viewing experience can enjoy it. And anyone who wants like that classic PTA movie experience where you're really like getting heady and sophisticated and kind of snobby about it, you can go and seeing that too. Like it's just this perfect balance of the two worlds. There's a scene where some characters, a bank robbery goes wrong and they have to leave, and there's a high-speed chase. And like I've seen a lot of high-speed bank chases in my movie watching experience, with Heat and with Baby Driver. And for some reason, this particular high-speed chase felt the most intense, the most realistic, and the most like you're rooting for the bad guys to get away. I don't know how PTA managed to accomplish that, but everything from the facial expressions on the bad guys to the editing and the lack of music, one of the few times in the movies where there is a lack of music, just I was like I was like biting my knuckle. I'm like, oh my gosh, but just incredible cinematography, camera work, acting, music, directing, everything about it, masterpiece. There's so much more to say about this movie. I know that a day or two from now I'm going to be thinking about it. I'm going to be like, oh, I should have said that in my review. But in order for me to get to that point, I'm going to have to really think on it. Because like I said, you could just go in expecting a good old-fashioned time with an action film and then just kind of walk away. Or you could go in expecting an action film with serious drama and some serious implications behind it. And that is where the real beauty lies, where you have to really think about, okay, what did I just watch? what is he really trying to say? I haven't seen every movie this year, but I can definitely say that this is the best movie of the year. And I'm going to give this one a 9.2 out of 10. So have you seen one battle after the other? If you haven't, do yourself a favor and go see it. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much, everybody, for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next cinematic adventure.